Well, good morning, seventh graders. I hope that you had a great Easter celebration, and hopefully, you got to maybe watch an Easter sermon at home. And now we are going to continue on in our chapter on invertebrates. We're on chapter 16 now, which is the second chapter that refers to invertebrates. So, in this first part of this chapter, we're talking about the phylum Mollusca, which means the mollusks. And if you'll recall, there's several different types of animals that fall under that phylum. And the first one we want to take a closer look at is an animal that we all like because we think they're neat. That is the octopus. So, octopus are really squishy, amazing creatures. And to take a closer look at them, we're going to see some video footage. So let me present my screen to you so that you can see it. Okay. You should be able to see what I see now. Okay, let that screen get big. All right. So let me start this over. So let's take a look at these amazing creatures that God has made. The octopus.
Octopuses.
They have elaborate cardiovascular and nervous systems. Their cardiovascular system includes 3 hearts to pump blood to the gills, and a third moves blood throughout the rest of the body. Unlike human blood, octopus blood is copper-based, which makes it appear blue. The octopus nervous system includes a brain, but 2/3 of the octopus's neurons are found throughout its body, especially in its arms. This means the arms have significant local control and sensory capabilities. They may even still reach or grasp after they're severed, and their suckers are able to sense chemicals. In other words, smell or taste. Octopuses are intelligent. Some scientists believe octopus intellect can be found in their ability to use tools and exhibit foresight to retain complex memories, which helps them to navigate mazes and solve puzzles and use visual clues, which helps them differentiate between human individuals. Octopuses have also been shown to play an activity considered a sign of intelligence. Most octopus species only live between 1 and 2 years. Much of the short lifespan has to do with the octopus's reproductive process. When when the males, they could be strangled and eaten by females. Now, males are often smaller than females, so they become overpowered and sometimes cannibalized or eaten once fertilization is complete. While females survive the mating process, they die after laying their eggs. Female octopuses guard their eggs for up to 8 weeks. During this time, the female's body self-destructs through cellular suicide until she dies. Octopus ink is deadly, even for the octopus. The ink is a seemingly innocent mixture of mucus and melanin. Melanin, the same dark pigment found in skin, hair, and eyes, also happens to contain the chemical compound racemase, which can impair a predator's sight, taste, and smell. Octopuses and other cephalopods may use their ink to distract, confuse, and paralyze predators. This mucus mixture may even block their gills, causing the fish to suffocate. If an octopus cannot escape its own ink, its respiratory systems may be compromised, causing the octopus to suffocate and die. Octopuses are masters of mimicry and camouflage. They can trigger cells just underneath the surface of their skin to change color. The cells, called chromatophores, contain sacs of pigment that can turn various shades within milliseconds. Some octopuses, such as the common octopus, can also imitate textures. They can wrap and warp small segments of their skin called papillae to match textured environments. Species like the mimic octopus are able to not only camouflage themselves, but also manipulate the shape of their bodies to impersonate other animals. Their wily mimicry, along with many other curious characteristics, are just a few reasons why octopuses are captivating creatures of the deep. Fascinating. All right, now I want to take another look at the mimicry, because I find the mimicry part to be also very amazing. Okay, so let's take a look at how they transform their color and their texture. And also we'll see a little bit of eating in this as well. So let's say you're a Cyhenia octopus and you don't care for the burgundy red color of your skin. How about something in a dose of a pale pink? No problem. That done, you just expand or shrink the millions of pigment cells or chromatophores in your skin to instantly change color. You can also use tiny muscles in your skin to change its texture. I find that amazing. Now, a kind of snakeskin print might be just the thing for a fashionable octopus trying to blend in with a smart sea, fashionable and low-key, off the radar of any hungry sharks passing by. And nobody here. There's nobody here, just another rock formation. Once that danger is past, it's time for prey to become predator. So here's some remarkable close-up footage of a sight any octopus going hunting. What are you looking for? Well, he's looking for crustaceans and mollusks that are as good as hiding as you are. Well, almost. And here's a coral reef that seems flat, but a lot of hidey holes, and that's where your amazing tentacles come in handy. You literally feel your way across the cracks and crevices. Your suckers are so sensitive, you can actually use them to taste what you touch. Aha, you sent a meal. It means it's time to unfurl yourself like an exterminator's tent, engulfing a termite-filled house. Your prey is trapped. Your grip is sure. Your arm tips go to work, flushing out bits of food and disappearing them into your this envelope. Until recently, no one knew what was happening underneath that web. But we'll see an example here, a video revealing the dining habits of this particular octopus. This crab gets thrust into what's called the beak, and its bite has a little toxin, just enough to seal the crab's doom. Oh, yes. So that's where he gets his meal. Okay, so let me go back to full screen. All right, so there's some footage of the octopus there. Now, let's take a little look at a diagram of the inside. Oh, well, I guess to do that, I would have to present my screen again. I do want to show you this diagram. Okay, so take a look at this diagram. You'll see all sorts of parts from the poison gland to the crop to the digestive parts, but take a close look at the siphon. Okay, up here in the top left, or if you can see my mouse, the top left, the siphon or the funnel. Why is that important? To move rapidly through the water, the octopus forces water through a muscular tube called a siphon. This jets the octopus through the water. Occasionally, when it's frightened, that's when it will release that ink. Okay? Okay, now, I want you to remember, now let me go back to my full screen of me. I want you to remember that in this phylum, Mollusca, these mollusks, there are several major classes. Okay, so look in your book on page 284. 284. Pause the video if you need a moment to get there. Okay, on page 284, look at the orange square on the left side of the page, you'll see in figure 16A-1 the three major classes of mollusks. Notice that the first one is gastropoda. These would be like snails and slugs. And what are some characteristics of gastropoda? Well, many have coiled shells, like snails, you know. They can be marine, freshwater, or terrestrial. What does terrestrial mean? Terrestrial means they crawl on the ground. So look at the class under that, cephalopoda. What is an example of that? That would be squids, octopuses. Most of those, here's the characteristics, most of those are without a shell, but they have tentacles, and they are all marine, which means they all live in the ocean. All right, look at the third class, bivalvia. There's that prefix bi. What does that mean? It means two. So a characteristic is they have a two-part hinged shell, and they can be marine and freshwater, which means saltwater and fresh. An example of bivalvia would be clams, oysters, and mussels. Okay, so there's our first animal we're taking a close look at. Remember to do your exit slip, which will be the section reviews for this section. Well, they'll be part of that. There'll actually be some additional questions in that, but do your exit slip, and that's it for today. And then tomorrow, we are going to take a close look at the clam. So I'll see you then. Bye.